start?
Yeah.
Hi, we are here directly here from Austin, Texas. Now we are going to talk with Praval Singh. He is Vice President, Marketing and Customer Experience at Zoho. He lives in India, but he came here to participate in this event. Uh, Praval, he look like he's 28 years, but he has 39, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, he has been working for Zoho 10 years. And one of the questions, firstly, that I'm doing for the people, why do you like or love to work at Zoho?
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming to the analyst day here at
Yeah.
Zoho in Austin. Uh, I think a lot of it has to do with the people, uh, and of course culture, which culture is nothing but a fabric that connects the people in an organization, right? A lot of it has to do with people and with principles of running a business. Principles on how we really, what's the business model? How do we run a business? How do we make money?
Yeah.
How do we care about customers, colleagues? All that together, I think the larger philosophy of what the company is what uh, retains people here, including myself. So that's the not so secret sauce
Yeah, I
of
see.
most people who've been here at Zoho for a while.
Yeah, I noticed in your writing, in your social network, for me it look like you are a philosopher. Look like I saw when I read about your comments in social network. As you were a freelancer writer and have worked in media company, how before Zoho, how does it help you to telling and spread the Zoho story in your culture? You know, because I think it's impossible. I noticed in your profile something like that. You you are creating story and keep this story alive. You know, that I feeling.
Yeah, my background is into running a digital agency back in India. Did that for about 4 years
Yeah.
before I joined Zoho. And yeah, I think I mean it's only worth telling a story when you have a good one to tell, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And I think Zoho is a good story to tell.
Exactly.
It's more of that than anything that I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So it's uh, when you have good ingredients, you make a good recipe out of it and a good, you know. I think that's what it is. And over the years, what happens is when you work on something for a long time and you've seen it grow, you've seen it evolve, and of course you've grown along with it,
Yeah.
right? A lot of it starts to come naturally to you. A lot of it you don't have to put in a lot of effort to tell that story, right? And it's authentic, it's genuine, uh, and then it's just a matter of your beliefs and alignment of those with the company that you work for, and some of the larger principles that you have in life, I think. And when there is that alignment between an individual and an organization, I think stories become, or at least appear to be, a lot more natural.
Yeah, I noticed one thing that I noticed in the slide of Sweden and the Vija. I note I don't know if it was a mistake or you don't like Brazil because most of the slide of them they forgot Brazil officer. What do you think? Yeah, are you forgotten Brazil officer? No.
That's not true. In fact, we've been making a lot of efforts in our global expansion
Yeah.
with our transnational localism approach.
Yeah.
And we have an office in Brazil, we have teams there. All of that has happened in the last few years. And we intend to double down our investments and expansion in not just North America but Mexico, South America, a lot of other regions. That may just have been a mistake that you
Okay.
saw in the presentation that we did not, but we honestly want to be there where
More in
talent
Brazil.
is.
Yeah.
And in fact, my colleague Rodrigo Wakai, he's looking at uh, the Brazil region as such, and you've set up team there, office there. We intend to grow that region a lot.
Yeah, today I saw the numbers of Zoho. More than 50 products, 80 million users around the world, 5,000 customers around the world. Are you getting successful sleep? How you're because you have to manage everything on this. How's
Excuse me.
your life about this?
I think a lot of it is because of the leadership that we have, the team that we have. Again, it comes back to people, like I said. A lot of people at Zoho who are in various positions of responsibility have been around here for a long while, and that helps. That helps them. That helps the company to trust them to begin with, give responsibility to them, and this culture of what we call bottom up, where the responsibility is given to people rather than everything coming up to the top for approvals. We don't believe in that. We believe decision making has to be decentralized, and that enables a lot of us to do a lot of things that we do.
And now that we are talking about, start to talk about data privacy. Now in Brazil, many Brazilian companies began this semester to receive fines imposed by government for not following the rules of general data protection law, because last year was just preparation, now is officially. And what most companies do reply, they say that the problem was the lack of the time or the fault of certain software, the problem, not the problem of them management, but the technology. What do you comment on this when you see data privacy, the issue?
I think there are two parts to it.
Yeah.
One is, of course, timeline and people falling short on getting things done or ready before a deadline. That can happen with anybody. That's, there would be, I'm sure there are companies that are genuinely couldn't do it because of the timeline. Right? But I think the larger issue there, what I feel is intent. Okay, as a company, what's your intent when it comes to data privacy, right? And it ties back to a few things. It ties back to your values and convictions. It ties back to your business model. It ties back to the fact that is data privacy for you just a matter of adherence and compliance, or for you is it a responsibility? As a company, if you think that it's a social responsibility of yours to take care of your users' data, to not monetize it in a way, or have consent and things like that, I think as a company you would do things that would be in the interest of the user, right? So I think intent is a bigger play here than a timeline or
Exactly.
someone not being able to do something on time. Those things eventually will take
Yeah, I
care
got
of
your point. I
themselves.
got your point. Yeah, because in the early when you wake up, you decide what you say, have decision.
True.
Yeah, you're right. Many companies are still afraid to work in cloud because the data is on the server that they don't master or they don't even in other countries. How is this speech to Zoho conquer this area? Because for example, I used to work for a company. Okay, we are if we are in startup, I'm ready to go to the cloud because I was born digital. But there is company in legacy or whatever. I'm going to migrate for Zoho, but Zoho is data center is in Brazil or abroad. What are speech to conquer or give the secure confidence that they can migrate for Zoho clouds
Sure.
to keep the data privacy something.
So there are a few things that come into play when you talk about cloud adoption, right? First of all, the thing is taking companies from a on-premise to a cloud approach 10 years ago or 15 years ago was a lot harder than it is today because there is a broader acceptance of cloud to begin with. Right? More people and more companies are acceptable to the idea of having their data on cloud. That's number one, right? And that applies to all the vendors, not just us. Secondly, coming to us, right, our our policies and our approach to privacy, which we are very vocal about, right? We're quite vocal about the fact that we don't own your data as if you are a customer. You own your data. We don't sell your data. We don't use your data to show you ads or any of that. I think that, and the fact that we have been this way since the time we started operations 26 years ago, this is not something that is new to us, because we think of privacy to be a responsibility, not just something that is required by law. So for us, the fact that we've been very vocal about it, the fact that users now understand and appreciate our approach towards this, all of this actually removes that friction that may exist for a lot of companies to come. The other part of it is the advantage of having your data and your operations on cloud, right? Things like data theft, losing your device, the typical benefits of cloud, right? That's something that companies like us have the responsibility to educate people on, which we do.
Yeah.
So I think all of this put together is how we approach this problem that you see.
Yeah. You has a responsibility of be the marketing man in Zoho. You think that Zoho Marketing Plus is capable to allow you to manage all the marketing of all your duties that you have in Zoho? Because imagine the responsibility, all the you have to manage in your campaigns, whereas as a user, the own tools, you think I improve a lot. You put in your as a marketer, people know how responsibility that you have to manage budget or budget channel, partner, campaign, ads from Zoho. But I think you using Zoho marketing already is already mature, or you are improving a lot. You are since 10 years, then you arrive there.
Yeah, we've been dog fooding our own products for a while now.
Yeah.
We take pride in saying that Zoho runs on Zoho,
Yeah.
right? And this is also true in marketing. Right? We've been using our own marketing suite, be it campaigns for email marketing, social for social media, and other products in the marketing space. So we've been using our products, of course. How it helps us is, like you said, it helps us improve the product, give feedback to the product team, fill in the gaps that exist. Sure, it does have certain limitations here and there, and when limitations outweigh, the need for a tool that is from outside, we try to use it, but we never try to use something that would compromise on certain things that we're very particular about. For example, not sharing data with third parties. Right? I think today our marketing stack of tools that we have is mature enough to take care of our needs. So we're pretty much self-sufficient in terms of the MarTech stack that we use. And then the gaps that are there, like I said, are the ones that we are filling, the new apps that we are working on. I think that's the classic Zoho approach, and that's how we have grown into these 55 plus applications that we have.
Okay. Praval, thank you very much for coming to talk with us. I hope you, Brazilian, that you are watching this interview, when you talk, one suggestion that I give you is when you review or try to understand the Zoho products and services, just not focus just in the product, but the culture of the company in long-term relationship. Because the Zoho for me is not a teenager company anymore. It has a culture, is a long-term commitment. Because what I felt here in Austin is like each product owner is like a CEO of the product. They has a responsibility. They have, but not the end. And Shrida said today they have as they are not IPO, they have the luxury to think the best for the customer, not for just stock option or something like that. You have some message for Brazil user you want to invite to know the platform on.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for coming to this event, and I would like to thank all your viewers as well for listening to this conversation. And yeah, we are a B2B software company, and we believe that we have a lot of value to offer. I would highly recommend checking out our products that would help your business needs. We are at zoho.com. It's zoho.com. Take a look. We're around to help you. We're around to educate and how we can help businesses transform digitally. And we have a suite of over 55 applications that cater to various business needs, from sales and marketing to HR to finance and so on and so forth. So yeah, once again, thank you so much,
You're
and
welcome.
I hope you have a good time while you're here.
For sure. Have a nice trip back and good God bless you
Thank
and
you so
your
much.
family.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. 15